So like when I was 16, 17, I was kind of dreaming about being in a certain scenario and in a certain lifestyle and all that when I would be 25. And now I'm 25 and I pretty much have all my 25-year-old dreams, like the checkpoints that I thought I would be at, I have it coming true, which is crazy. And the reasons why that's happening is because I believed that I could do it. I believed that I could get there. I believed that I could make it. Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Legendary. Today I want to talk about how you just need to believe that you're going to make it. So, I don't know what percent of people, right? But there are tons of people who just don't even believe that they're going to accomplish what they have always dreamed of accomplishing. So, what that does when you believe that and you have negative beliefs about yourself is it makes it so that you're not even going to attempt it. And if you just think about everyone you see wherever, when you're out shopping, when you're getting groceries, when you're at the gym, whatever, and you just think about, okay, does that person believe that they can complete everything, that they can do everything that they ever dreamed? And there's probably lots of people who don't think like that. And so the horrible thing is that if you don't have the right mindset and if you don't even think you can do it, you won't even start. So a huge part of making it towards something and accomplishing something is literally just believing that you can. So that's what this whole video is about literally just being 50% of the way there just by believing that you can make it. And then the other 50%, now, I don't know the exact formula for all this, and maybe I'll try to break it down further in the future, but a large percentage of it, is believing that you can do it. Next, the other 50% is following through and working as hard as you can towards what you want to accomplish. So, literally just believe that you can do it. Believe that you can accomplish this, accomplish that, whatever. That will cause you to start. If you truly believe it, you'll say, okay, yeah, I can do this. And then what you do, and this can go in part with making it seem more believable to yourself, but you can have your big goal and then you can backtrack it back to the daily things that you're going to do in order to get there. And if you have a realistic plan for how to get there, you're going to say, oh my gosh, it is plausible that I would reach this goal. Like, I can totally do this. And so then it just raises your belief and you're going to keep going after that. And another point is, if it's something that you're super passionate about, if you have this big goal, this big dream and all that, you'd be so passionate about reaching that if you knew it was X amount of work. And then when you have that work defined and you see that you can do all that, you can take the steps every day to make it, then all you have to do is do all those things. Now, let's say you have the belief down. You have the belief that you can do it. That's great. Now, you just need to work towards those steps. And the thing that will get you from point A to point B is the hard work. So all you have to do is just put in the hard work. You got to take it back to the strategy in order to get there and then just put in the hard work. And you're going to be fueled by the passion of reaching that goal and that dream. And that is what is going to propel you forward and keep you working super hard. So the whole point is just believe that you can do it. What you have to do is you have to break down these negative thoughts that are holding you back. So it's really crazy to me. It's really crazy to me sometimes. Like, it's insane. A lot of times I'm going too fast in life to stop and realize, but which isn't a problem. A lot of people could say that that's a problem, that you need to slow down and you need to realize where you're at and be thankful for it. 100%, I totally agree, and I realize that often, and I really recognize that I need to stop and be grateful for where I am. I think the thing is for me is that I know full well that I'm so happy whenever I do that, and I'm so grateful for everything that I have, and I can do that anytime. and I could just say, all right, this is just totally incredible, and just live in it where I'm at. And so I'm not really, I know that I'm not pursuing because of a lack of something. I'm pursuing because I'm so fulfilled already, and I'm just trying to get to a point to where there's more impact, there's more that I can do for other people and all that. So it's not like I'm unfulfilled and I'm like, okay, I gotta find this next thing, whatever. I'm so happy right where I'm at. And what brings it back to the main point of the video is that I'm 25 years old, and it's really insane to me, like I was saying a second ago, that it's insane to me because I'm 25 and I'm pretty much where I always dreamed of being at 25 when I was younger. So like when I was 16, 17, 15, whatever, I was kind of dreaming about being in a certain scenario and in a certain lifestyle and all that when I would be 25. And now I'm 25 and I pretty much have all my 25-year-old dreams, like the checkpoints that I thought I would be at, I have it coming true, which is crazy. And the reasons why that's happening is because I believed that I could do it. I believed that I could get there. I believed that I could make it. And second, I worked extremely hard. I worked insanely hard, and I stayed so focused in order to get here. And I would not have gotten here if I wouldn't have had the basic foundational beliefs that I can do it. And it's so insane to me, and it's so awesome because I feel like I have great momentum forward for continually growing these different things that I'm working on and all that. But it's so crazy to me because I'm like thinking to myself, I am where I wanted to be. And so if I could make it to this point, and in some ways I'm already going beyond where I kind of dreamed of being able to make it to, which is super crazy. So I'm like getting more results than I thought I would be able to, which is super awesome. Or I've had experiences now that is like insane, like that I just only dreamed about, and I had them now really young. And so I am never changing my mindset. I'm absolutely never changing my mindset, and I'm just going to keep going. And 5 years, like 25 to 30, it could potentially be insane when I'm 30, because I had all these insane dreams about where I would be when I was 25, and I'm there now. I'm here now. So if I have these same visions, it's probably going to be that and more when I'm 30, which is just crazy. So it all comes back to, you just have to believe that you can make it. You have to believe that whatever. I'm not saying being a millionaire, making a lot of money is the top priority in life, whatever. But if you just believe that you can be a millionaire, and you break it down, you change these mindsets, and you say, no, I can totally do this. And you repeat that to yourself, and you begin to see yourself a different way, and you see life a different way. You say, I can totally make it to, making movies. I can totally make it to being a big actor. I can totally make it this. I bet that there are so many people that they just say, okay, being a mainstream actor, a mainstream musician, whatever, that, like, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to get to that. There's no way I'm going to be that. Those are like different kind of people that were given these different privileges and whatever, and there's just no way. If you have that in your head, you're going to get so easily sucked back into what is easy to do in life and what's comfortable and consuming things and whatever. And sitting on the couch is so much easier than letting that thought progress. But the people who do let that thought progress and think to themselves, oh my gosh, I've got one life, I can make it happen, I can totally do this, then that person is literally going to make it, because they believe they can do it. They're not literally going to make it, but they're halfway there. They believe they can do it, and then they just put in that hard work. That's what they have to do in order to get there. So, but there's probably so many people that are just like, no, that's so far away. I don't know how to start. I don't know what's in between. I don't know how to do it. You have to be the kind of person that says, okay, I don't know this, I don't know this, I don't know this, I don't know this, I don't know this. There might be 100 steps between where you want to get to and where you are. And you just say, all right, I'm just going to choose this moment right now. Right now, I'm going to start. And that's what I've done with so many different things. There were so many things in the past that I saw as a massive mountain, a just gigantic mountain. And I was standing there at the bottom and I was like, okay, I want to get like to the top of that mountain or over that mountain to the other side, whatever. And I was like, that is just insane. And I was like, all right, let me just start. And I just said, all right, I'm just going to start. If it was getting my music on Spotify, whatever, or playing music live, something like that, or creating a really good sounding song or something like that. At the beginning, I was like, I have no idea. Like I knew how to maybe sing a little bit. Literally, that's it. Or a little experience with piano and playing drums and something like that. And I said to myself, oh my gosh, creating a song, putting it on Spotify, I have no idea. But I had these dreams and these, visions of what I wanted the music to be like and what I want to do in the future. And I want to do all these incredible things. So I was like, I have to start. So I was like, all right, just start with something super simple. Just look it up online or whatever. It'll give you a whole bunch of things you have to do. It's like, all right, I have to download this music software. And then you have to get used to it. And then I think there's the starting part. And then there's also the pitfall that people can fall into is like, all right, now it's tons and tons of work of figuring out all these little things. And they can be so annoying, and you have to figure out all these different things to make it work, and it's just like those different little checkpoints up the mountain. But if your passion is great enough, and your belief is great enough, you are going to overcome all of that. And you're going to say, okay, it's tough. I don't know what to do here. I'm kind of annoyed, whatever. If you change your thought patterns to be more positive, if you change your beliefs to say, I am going to make it happen because I believe this thing about reality, about myself, then you're just going to keep pushing through. And you are going to have that positive mindset. And you're going to train yourself to have those positive thoughts so that you're not getting tripped up and you're not saying, oh, this thing is really annoying. I can't stand that. I can't figure this out. And it's so annoying. And it's easier. It's easier to just go sit on the couch. It's easier to just fall into old habits. It's easier to just waste time. It's easier to just sink back. It's easier to whatever, put on your VR. It's easier to play video games. It's easier to whatever. Yes, it's easier. But you are you. You are yourself. And if you just take a second and think about it, you control what you do. You control what you're doing in this world. And if you don't realize deep down inside that you have the ability to do these incredible things in life with this body that you've been given, then you won't go and make it happen. But you have to realize that the past 5 years of your life probably went really fast. And it's just going to keep going faster because it just keeps getting busier and all that. Those past 5 years, it was probably super fast. It's probably going to be faster for the next 5 years. So it sounds good to me to fill all that time up with these super good, super productive things so that you're set up for the future and so that you're making things happen that you dreamed of. The past 5 years were probably super fast. It was probably a blur. So don't you wish, if you did, then that's great, but don't you wish, and aren't you thankful if you did, that you filled those 5 years with the most productive things ever, so that now, you're now here, you're looking back at that 5 years and being like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for the me of the past 5 years. I'm so thankful that they set me up for right now. And you do not want to look back at 5 years, at 10 years, at 15, 20, 30. You do not want to look back at a long stretch of time and be like, oh my gosh, if 30 years ago I would have just said, I can make it. I know I can make it, and I'm going to work extremely hard. Then if you look back at that and say, I know that I could have thought that, I know I could have done that, that would just be the worst feeling ever, you know? But if you look back at those 30 years and you say, oh my gosh, I did the best possible. I did the smartest things I could think of. I did the best possible. I did the most productive things. I didn't waste any time. All that, you're going to be so thankful after those 30 years. And all of that can start, all that 30 years, all that 15 years, all that 10 years, all the 5 years. All of that can start just by believing that you can make it happen, that you can get to where you want to go. So it's funny because like you'll never even start if you don't have that thought. And the people who have made it to where they want to be, it's pretty simple and crazy how basic that decision is and how small that decision is to say, I'm going to just believe it. I'm just going to believe that I can do this. And then you'll start getting more and more evidence that, oh my gosh, I can make this thing happen. That's going to support you more, and it's just an endless cycle of motivation and drive and belief that you can make it happen. And then you might make it happen, and if not, here's another amazing point. You're in a better spot and you tried. You know? You tried to do it. Rather than waste time, be comfortable, whatever, you're going to be in a better spot, more experienced, probably more set up, probably closer to that goal because you just tried, because you just believed. People might call you crazy for believing this different thing, and of course, you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be real about things and say, okay, can I actually? But since we only live one time and life is so short, I'm always of the mindset of, dude, I am going to put the bar way freaking high. I'm going to put the bar so high, and I'm going to give my absolute best to accomplish everything, all these dreams, all this crazy stuff, whatever. I'm going to put the bar extremely high. If you don't make it, then let's say someone who never believed that they could make it, and they're like here, and they made a little bit of progress, whatever. If you're the one, your bar's up here, and I only made it to here, this is an incredible life. That's incredible. If all my dreams, all that, whatever, is up here, and I made it to here, that's still incredible. So you're never going to regret that hard work, that drive, all that. And of course, there is kind of the risk of, spending all this time and then something goes wrong. But I think that we should be willing to take that risk because we only got one shot. Like we can't do it again. We can't go again. We can't live a normal life. And then what if you would have gone after it and you would have gotten it? That would have been insane, incredible. So that's the whole point of the video, guys, just to motivate you to change your mindset and get that belief just really strong. So the way that I like to do this is every morning I'll wake up and I've got it right over there. I've got a big whiteboard and I've got all the things that I want to believe, all the truths I want to believe. So it might be about God, it might be about myself, it might be about things that are true that I want to believe that I can make it to. I've got a couple posters of where I want to be, where I want to get to, what I want to accomplish, things like that, so I can see it and I can get up in the morning and say, yes, that is exactly where I'm going to go. And I say, I can totally do this. I can totally do it. And your mind, who you are, it might not believe it at first. It might not be, it might be like, oh no, your mind might be like, no, you're just like saying things to yourself, whatever. But if you begin to say it to yourself a lot, and you begin to envision it, and you begin to step into it, and you begin to do practical things in order to reflect what you believe internally, then it just creates this cycle of, oh wow, no, wait, hold on. I kind of am I kind of am getting to where I believed I was going to be. And it's like, whoa, wait, I think I actually can make this happen. And then you actually believe it. And then when you actually believe it, you get more confident in that, and you're like, oh my gosh, I totally can do it. You just believe more, and it causes more action, and you're like, I'm closer and closer and closer. Boom, you made it. You're there. And then that's even more, it propels you forward even more to complete the next thing, because you're like, I didn't really know if I could do that, and then I did it, and I made it. So if you take that same mindset and you say, this huge thing, that seems insanely huge, but I'm just going to take the same mindset, and I'm going to take it and get to that next thing. And you just have this absolute positivity, absolute drive, absolute belief that I can totally make this happen. And that's the first part of it. And then the second part, you got to break it down, and you got to put the crazy hard work in order to get there. But that is what is going to get you started, is just believing that you can make it.